Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Pagey here once again with another video for you guys. In this video we're going to be going through Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 3 and just some thoughts and speculations of what could be happening within Season 3. So if you do go on to enjoy the video, make sure to leave a like, leave any comments on what you think will happen in Season 3, and make sure to subscribe if you're new. So anyway, this season that just concluded of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. ended on quite the cliffhanger, I guess you could say, and sets up some big plans, I guess you could say, for Season 3 and what could happen. Now the show made actually pretty damn good progress when it comes to the fact that, you know how like they were all hiding out due to the events of Captain America, Winter Soldier, how they were sort of the enemy. But they were able to incorporate this big arc, this big story arc involving S.H.I.E.L.D. and the Inhumans and all this Terrigen Mist stuff, which I think ended the season really, really well. So when we have the Inhumans, we also involve the Kree. Now, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. wasn't really the only place in the MCU or the cinematic universe to actually touch upon the Kree and this story behind the Inhumans. But it's pretty clear from what we've seen in Season 2 that this show will probably be the main gateway that they're going to go into establishing this whole Kree and just alien universe, I guess you could say, in the cinematic universe. And we also had that nice little hint at the end of the finale with the whole Secret Warrior setup, which we will most likely, if not definitely, see in Season 3. So with all this, we're likely to see Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. continue to establish this connection, I guess you could say, between the Krees, Inhumans, as well as just regular citizens of planet Earth. Now, the biggest reveal that we saw in Season 2 of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was something that was actually speculated and everyone was actually guessing was actually going to happen in the show, and that was the fact that Skye was in fact Daisy Johnson from the comics. Now, Daisy Johnson's actually only been in the comics for around 10 years, and she actually was an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. and then actually became a member of the Secret Warriors, which was a team that brought all these different S.H.I.E.L.D. agents together to help stop the Skrull invasion going on at the time. Now, Daisy Johnson took on the, I guess you could say, alias of Quake when she eventually joined that team and was a pretty high member, I guess you could say, of S.H.I.E.L.D. And I think she actually, from what I remember, she actually did take over for a tiny bit. Now, they've actually portrayed her pretty damn good on the TV screen in comparison to the comics, because she does like to take certain matters into her own hands and does like to go on her own missions, I guess you could say, and which can, you know, get her in trouble with some of the S.H.I.E.L.D. agents above her. So if she does eventually get in control of this Secret Warrior team, it wouldn't surprise me if there's some sort of conflict between her and some other agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., I guess you could say. And before I did mention the Skrulls, and there's a massive thought going around the community that they're actually not allowed to use the Skrulls because they did use the Chitauri in the first Avengers film. And a lot of people think that Fox owned the rights to the Skrulls because of Fantastic Four, but that's actually not true. Fox owned the rights to Super Skrull, who's an individual character. So Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is actually open to just use the Skrulls, but they can't actually use Super Skrull. So I wouldn't be surprised if they did use it. Maybe that's where, spoiler alert, that's maybe where Simmons ends up. She might end up on the Skrull planet, she might end up on the Kree planet, we'll have to wait and see. Now, I think that the reason that they haven't introduced the Skrulls is because they didn't want to just whack them in there. I think they actually wanted to wait just for the right time to put them into the universe, I guess you could say, and that could be within Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. They could actually spend a whole season leading up to them. Maybe not a whole season, but, you know, a good 10 or 11 episodes leading up to them and actually introduce them and develop them properly. Or they could actually develop the Kree further and then introduce the Skrulls later on, because obviously they're enemies, and then you learn about the Kree's history and then you eventually learn about the Skrulls. So leave any comments in the comment section below if you actually think the Skrulls will actually make an appearance in Season 3 of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Now, obviously at the end of the Season 2 finale, we got the whole Terrigen Mist outbreak in the water, ended up in all the fish oil tablets or the fish oil pills, whatever you want to call them. Now this is going to be a major issue because they're going to actually get probably, I think this is going to be very similar to the Terrigen bomb, and you're going to get a lot of Inhumans being revealed. So it'll be very interesting to see what happens here, and if someone, like, there's obviously going to be sort of like, so I really don't like to put it this way because they're sort of different companies obviously, but it could be similar to like the metahumans thing, or, you know, like the meteor infected people from Smallville. How you got all these Inhumans that they sort of need to be taken down. This could be where the Secret Warriors come together and actually take some of the evil, I guess you could say, Inhumans down that are developed through these fish oil supplements. And as I did mention before, we obviously got that Simmons being swallowed by the the Kree stone. I can't remember what it's called. I think I'm just going to call it the Kree stone because that's where it's from. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there as well. So it's not that bad of a move that they did do the Inhuman storyline in Season 2, because I did think it was very, very interesting, and hopefully they do develop it a bit more in Season 3, because obviously no one really knows what the Inhumans movie was really about, the general public at least. But with so many great storylines to work with either the Kree, the Skrull, the Secret Warriors, or anything like that, there is a lot that Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. can actually do within Season 3 and further seasons as well to actually, deepen, I guess you could say, the Marvel Cinematic Universe and the universe of essentially the Inhumans, I guess you could say, in the meantime. So it could actually come down to the possibility that by the time the Inhumans movie comes out, which is 2019, I think the middle of the year roughly, that the Marvel Cinematic Universe could actually be set up for the Kree Skrull War, which a lot of people would really like to see, and actually show that it would actually be Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. that will have likely done most of the work to actually set that movie up. So what do you think? What would you like to see happen in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 3? What do you think the hell's going to happen to Simmons? Will we finally hear or even see the Skrulls? We'll probably hear about them, but we possibly could see them possibly at the end of Season 3. And should we be preparing for a possible secret invasion? I'm not too sure, but anyway, leave any comments in the comment section below, and leave a like if you enjoy the video, and make sure to subscribe if you're new. I do most of these videos every 2 to 3 days, maybe even daily sometimes. So yeah, subscribe if you're new, make sure to follow me on Twitter, and I'll catch you in the next video, guys. Goodbye.